Good evening and welcome back to our adventure here at Natchez Trace State Park. This is part 2 of our overnight hike with Teeter and me. Tonight, before we settle in for the night, it's time to collect water, get the fire rolling down to a bed of coals, and cook up a hearty backcountry dinner. Fresh Bannock bread, a baked potato, and a massive ribeye steak beside the fire here at camp near Bannock Lake. Tomorrow morning we'll start the day with breakfast, hot coffee, and a long 13-mile hike back towards the visitor center to finish the journey through the Tennessee woods. We appreciate you coming back and joining us for the second half of this hike. Grab a seat by the fire and come along with us. All right, just regular Bannock bread. It's 1 cup of flour, 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of powdered milk. So I've already mixed all this. So now I'm gonna add 1/2 a cup to 3/4 a cup of high quality H2O. You start off real minimal because you don't want to get it all soupy. And then 2 tablespoons of oil. And I'm going to do everything right here in this bag. I may have to get my hands. Little bit in there. That's about half. The fire is just now starting to catch. Everything was so damn wet. Like playing with Play-Doh. As a kid, I used to get Play-Doh on everything. So Play-Doh stopped. I'm gonna work on this. I'll be right back. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. Holy crap. That's something I didn't do. Boy, this is fixing to get messy quick. All right. that was messy. I had to dip into the other Bannock bread to get a little bit more flour. I'm going to make me some tea. That on the fire. I wonder. Gotta spank that bread. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. That's the way we like it. All right. I don't think this light's doing much of anything. Well, let's take you over to the fire. I wonder. Can you see the fire? That's what it looks like. It's all just gonna fry at this point. I got a spatula somewhere. My handy dandy spatula. Tea's a brewing. dig the potato out of there. Oh, I think that's getting good. Oh, yeah. That's looking good. Let's put a little ghee in there. Hot potato. Oh, well, I'm still eating it. I have to beep that cuss word out. I'm gonna sleep heavy tonight. I'll bring you back when the steak's done. GoPro, stop recording. Oh, camera won't listen to me. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. I'm not gonna mess this up. Oh yeah. Good grief, that's a lot of food. Got some sweet tea, hot sweet tea. forgot to say bon appetit or bon voyage. You want a bite? So, while I'm eating, and I probably shouldn't talk while you eat, I got to the halfway mark, 6 miles in, took a break, ate a protein bar and some nuts, and realized I jacked around with the cameras and talked to an older couple up there by Cub Creek Lake. Sweet couple. I think they were from Wisconsin. Got to talking to them, and by the time I sat down, I was going to take a good long break. It turned out I only took a 20-minute break because I only had 3 hours to get here, and I wasn't really halfway. I was at the halfway mark, and it took me playing around with cameras and talking to folks. It took me 4 hours, and I was thinking, oh, I need to turn the cameras off and go into Marine Corps mode. Put my head down and start trekking. Needless to say, I got here probably about 30 or 40 minutes. I'd say 30 minutes prior to sunset. So hopefully I've got footage of that. I seen an eagle. I gathered wood, got all my camping stuff out of my backpack. I had drank both bottles of water, so I had to pull water out of the lake and filter it. And so I had 1, 2, 3 bottles of water so far. Anyway, it was a good day, and I was I was feeling it at the end, and I'm probably gonna crash. Let me ask you a question, and you can put this in the comment section. I think this is perfect. Is that too raw for you? I I eat fat and all when it comes to a steak. I'm going to gross people out with that. Here, Teet. By the way, today was Teeter's first long hike like that. I think she did a 3. She might have done a 5-mile hike. We were hiking at a park in Nashville. She was a puppy. She did good. You can't wear that breed of dog out. Heck. I'll cut this out. Hell, when we got to camp, I was already ready to go to bed. I was tired. I had to get firewood. I had to filter water. I had to start cooking food. She just runs and jumps in the lake, just wears it out. At some point, I had to cut it off because it's supposed to get down cold tonight. I'm in the hammock, and she's laying on that foam bed tonight, so if it gets too cold, I'm gonna have to climb out of my hammock. Here, Teet. And get the sleeping bag all out and let her climb in the sleeping bag with me. That's a big steak. That's an 1.5-inch steak. I'm getting it done. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Bannock Lake is bigger than I thought it would be. I didn't picture it being that big. It's enormous. I don't know if there's access to that lake, but that'd be cool to get a canoe and do a little fishing on it. It's pretty big. You could spend all day paddling the coast of it. I want what the temperature is. I can see my breath. Teeter, I can't eat all this. You fixing to get some big bites here. Ooh, wait a minute. Help me eat this. Oh, crap. We're knocking this thing out. She's full, because now she's taking it and burying her food somewhere else. Look at that. Can you see that? Is it focusing? God, I'm full. I'm done. All right, I'm gonna clean my mess up, and we'll talk when I get in the rack. Yep, mustache too long. It's 10 o'clock. All right, so it is 43 degrees. It's 43 degrees right now. 11 o'clock is supposed to get to 41. And then it turns. So from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. it's 39 degrees. Wow. Well, we can bear it. We'll see. Tomorrow will be 68 degrees, low of 41, but I'll be home by then. All right, I'm gonna turn this light off. What the? All right. So I've got a couple of tidbits of information that I pulled up online. Legends from the Natchez Trace region. So, early travelers along the Natchez Trace sometimes reported hearing horses approaching in the night, only to find no one there. Along the historic Natchez Trace, travelers in the 1800s sometimes reported hearing phantom horse hooves at night. Legend says these were the spirits of traders and travelers who died along the dangerous route while returning home from Mississippi. On that note, one more and we're going to bed. Outlaws and the Hart brothers. So, in the Natchez Trace region, once had a reputation for lawlessness. Two of the most infamous criminals connected to the area were Micaiah Harp and Wiley Harp, often called America's first serial killers. In the late 1700s, the Harp brothers reportedly robbed and murdered travelers along the remote wilderness routes like the Natchez Trace. Sort of like the Red Leaves Trail. Oh, wait a minute. One more. And these not all have to do with the state park. This is the Natchez Trace region. One of the most famous stories along the Natchez Trace is the witch dance. According to local legend, Native American tribes once held ceremonies where witches danced and left mysterious footprints that could never be tracked leaving the area. Visitors still report strange ground patterns in the area. Footnote: this site is actually on the Natchez Trace Parkway in Mississippi, but the story is widely connected to the region. All right, I think I have a couple more facts, but I'll do those in the morning before I hike. Pretty interesting. But anyway, I am going to bed. Good night. Farewell. Au revoir. Later. Good morning. I slept well last night. I had to get up and use the restroom 2 or 3 times last night. That was cold, but other than that, I slept well. I love the hammock. Oh, excuse me. I'll show you the view. Quit, Tahita. Might be able to see the sun come up. Anyway, I'm still not quite wanting to get out of the sleep bag, but I need to start getting coffee ready. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I'm gonna get up. Okay. 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 All right. Okay, I'm up. The sun's about to come up. This one I have 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of powdered milk. What I've added is cinnamon, brown sugar, walnuts, and dates. And we're off. Just left the cabin and we're following around Pinhook Lake. Yeah, so we're at Pinhook Lake and we're making our way over to Browns Creek Lake, and then we'll start making our way back up to where the loop stops, and we'll get back on the original Red Leaves trail that'll head back to the park office. So I'm gonna change out batteries, we're gonna take a break, and we'll see you soon. So we're headed down into a ravine, crossing a creek. A couple of times there's a couple of bridges. And we will be at Brown's Creek Lake. Yeah, I had to just verify that. Yep, Brown's Creek Lake. Oh. Well, watch out for the briars. You'll snag your feet. We're at the pipeline again. That's where we gotta go. Well, we made it back to Cub Creek Lake. You end up coming on the southeast side of the lake. You walk down the road. You come up here and you got two bridges to cross, and then you're back on the trail. So here we go. All right, we're finishing up this hike here. Not too long ago, probably about an hour ago, I had to use the restroom in the woods. I thought it triggered a warning. It triggered a memory. I thought I'd share, and I'll try to keep it as clean as possible. I was years ago with my job. I was laying a track for a tracking bloodhound, and I had just did a 5-mile hike in the woods, and the feeling came on, and I had to use the restroom. And you do your typical site assessment. You're locating the restroom, finding the perfect fallen tree to lean up against. It was perfect. I had a sapling right in front of it so I can hold on to it. Everything was perfect. So I got in the position. Mind you, I already looked all over the place for copperheads, timber rattlers. So everything was hunky-dory when it came to that. So got in the process. So I checked low level, mid level. So the public service announcement is always check low level, mid level, and high. I never checked high. Well, in the midst of completing my defecation, this medieval spider rappelled off my baseball cap, and it was slow motion, but it was like a nanosecond. It was one of those garden spiders, those big ones, about, you know, almost as big as your hand. And when it went down and went across my nether regions, oh my God. I jumped up, I'm running through the woods, and I'm attacking myself, if you know what I mean. I was bruised, humiliated. My buddy down the hill, he could see me doing the curly shuffle through the woods with my pants around my legs, just slapping myself. So, public service announcement, check low, medium, and high. I always do that from now on. And every time I'm going in the restroom in the woods, I always think about that memory. Anyway. We're almost done, Teeter. I think Teeter is tired. All right, Teeter, we're headed back to the visitor center. Well, that's the end of the hike. Just got a little bit further to go and then. March 13th, 2026. After a long 13-mile hike back from the primitive camp, Teeter and I are wrapping up another great adventure here at Natchez Trace State Park. If you're looking for a hike with a medium to difficult challenge, the Red Leaves Trail offers plenty of rewards along the way. From the peaceful woods and rolling hills to the beauty and quiet of the Tennessee nature surrounding you on every mile of the trail. And if a longer hike isn't your style, the park has plenty in shorter trails and scenic areas where you can still experience the beauty and history this park has to offer. Conveniently located right off Interstate 40 between Jackson and Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you again for coming along with Teeter and me on this journey. We truly appreciate you spending your time with us here on the trail. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can join us on our next adventure. Until next time, we'll see you down the trail.